What up, Regime? I am Symphony. Before we start this video, I need to have you guys do me a really big favor and click subscribe in the corner or down below. I don't know where it's at, and I would really appreciate that. Anyways, we're gonna analyze Whenever You Call, and it's Brian McKnight and Regine Velasquez live. I had no idea that they even had a duet together, or even performed together. You guys sent me a DM, and also like a couple days ago, someone asked me who my favorite R&B artist was, and there's a bunch of them. I can't really list one, but the top 4 or 5 that I gave in no particular order, Brian McKnight was definitely on there. So let's just jump into it because this is like black belts as far as male and female vocalists go. Not that gender matters in regards to vocals. It doesn't at all. It doesn't matter in regards to anything. I'm just saying that this is almost like a super duet. You know what I mean? Like a duet on steroids.
Thank you. And I'm going out on the limb here to say that if ever you need me to write a song for you, the next day I'll have 10 CDs for you.
Thank you.
I kind of want to hurry up and hear them. I'm just too anxious.
Maybe this right here.
Okay. Brian McKnight is an animal. I'm gonna talk about his songwriting abilities after this, and like technically as a musician, he's a beast too. It's funny, he plays his instruments a lot of the way that he sings. He uses his instrument as a vehicle, like the same way, no matter what it is. It's a hard thing to do, so Jamie Foxx does this really well too. So does Regine, obviously, but these are people that have crazy control. It's almost like they ride the melody so subtle, whereas if any of us were trying to even speak that softly, let alone sing, it would probably sound like us doing a whisper, but they know how to like ride that line so much to where it's not a whisper and that note barely comes out, that volume, you know? And it's like the most relaxing, like overtaking tone in the entire world. So notice too, if you're like a artist or a musician or whatever, the way that he's with the piano, he's not slowing down, being overly dramatic. He's not speeding up. The volume of both of them falls exactly in tempo with the piano. There's like a shit ton of emotions coming out, and it's real, but they're not overdoing it. You know what I mean? She like augmented the scale a little bit. I like when they change the scale in the middle of the song a little bit and they slightly tweak a chord. Brian McKnight does a lot of gospel R&B artists will do that. Hey, Brian McKnight, that guy's the GOAT, dude. So both of them have crazy, like, powerful voices, right? Like, they're like tanks. They could just explode anything at any time, right? But instead they're choosing to use their voices more of an instrument rather than like a weapon, if that makes any sense. I'll explain that after, because I know that saying that, hearing it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'll go into it later on after this is done. Notice how both of them two obviously have crazy control and do literally whatever they want with when they sing. But but the acrobatics that they're doing with their voices and the runs, it's not meant just to show off. And Brian McKnight does a really good job of this also. When I say he uses his voice like an instrument, an example of that is that when he does a run or something like that, it fits with the emotion. He's not just throwing it in there because it sounds good. He's not throwing it in there like someone would throw in like a guitar solo, like when they're in the studio. He's just kind of like freestyling and ad-libbing because it's what comes out. You know what I mean? Like a lot of that's not rehearsed, like, oh, I'm gonna throw this little garnish in here, this and that, you know what I mean? And Regine does the same thing, but she doesn't even have to do it with the runs and everything all the time. She'll do it with like something as subtle as like a squill at the end of her voice, or the way she'll add a little bit more emotion to the end of a line. Let me go ahead and stop this. So I was saying that they use their voices as instruments, not just like weapons. I meant like weapons, almost like a tool. So like the difference between, I want to make this the difference between this. When I was 13 years old, I learned how to play guitar, and I got very good, very, very fast, right? And I was able to play like anything you could possibly think of. Like I was playing Eruption by Eddie Van Halen. I was playing like any Led Zeppelin song you could think of. I was playing like any Metallica, like literally everything from Metallica, from Kill 'Em All to like the Black Album, which is basically the last album that I even wanted to listen to. Anything after that was crap. It's irrelevant. It's beside the point. Anyways, I was able to learn all these songs, the guitar played from solos to the literally everything, right? And just because I was able to play those songs at such a young age, and like I was only playing for like a year or so, does not mean back then I was as good of a musician as the people that wrote the songs. So when I say that they use their voices more as like instruments rather than tools, I was using the guitar back in the day as a tool to play something that sounded cool, but I didn't know what it was like to use emotion and experiences and feelings to write a song. I could have written something that sounded cool, but even then it wouldn't have the same feeling, the same little dynamics, pieces of depth that really come out when you have a like person who's either gone through stuff or really knows how to just convey emotion through their instrument. And both of them know how to do that through their voices. They're not just singing, using it as a tool or a weapon to just overtake everybody and just, you know, show off. They're actually adding things to it and creating like a I'm not trying to get too far out there and stuff, but creating a human experience. You're not just listening to stuff, you know what I mean? You're actually experiencing the performance and experiencing what they're putting out. So that kind of stuff is noteworthy. I don't mean to get so in depth with it, but I'm a big fan of Brian McKnight, and you guys already know I'm a big fan of Regine also. I had no idea they were even together, so this is awesome. Thank you for DMing me. Send me more videos that you guys don't think I've seen, because I'm sure there's a million of them. Seeing this kind of opened up my mind. It was like, wow, there's a lot of people that have probably gone over there and performed with all of your guys' artists in the Philippines. Guys, like, subscribe, share. Please subscribe. You guys have been supporting me so much, and I'll see you guys next time. My long distance relationship worked out, but we broke up. So let me give you the story first, and then I'm going to tell you guys what I think about long distance relationships, because a lot of you have been asking about this. I started dating this girl, and she was a few years younger than me, so there was a little bit of an age gap as well, right? But we met over the summer, and we started talking, and then we started dating, and then, you know, eventually we were in a relationship exclusively with each other. What